3:30 CBS. Number 1 Ohio State on the road, an 8.5-point favorite, going to Husky Stadium to square off against Washington. So this is one of those games that we talked about a lot when we did our previews. This line has also gone down. It is now down to 8.5. I have seen some speculation that it could go all the way down to like 7. So there is a lot of steam on Washington. Maybe not to win outright, but to keep this one close at home with Ohio State coming to town.
Yeah.
Where are you at here?
I went back and forth. We don't have a full concept on either one of these teams. We don't have a full concept on most of these teams. Home field advantage, absolutely, for Washington here.
Definitely.
They had a nice run at home. They beat Michigan with a big spot with a lot of energy last year. Obviously, last year's Michigan team was not super special. But they're going to have the place rocking. What time is kickoff?
3:30 Eastern
3:30. So a little bit of time to get a little sauced and get the energy in that stadium, in Husky Stadium right there on the lake. Washington was in a full-on game against a maybe average Wazoo team, and it was 31-24 relatively late, like in the shadow of the fourth quarter. They finished strong. You should credit teams for finishing strong. But that was a game, and their defense was not an incredible day for Washington's defense on the road in Pullman in a rivalry game at Wazoo. But the offense this year has been basically nonstop electric. Jonah Coleman's been really good. Denzel Boston's been really good. Damon Williams has been a great dual threat for them against some pretty subpar defenses. And they've performed
they played 3 bad teams so far.
But they've performed like a great offense should, given playing UC Davis, Colorado State, and Washington State. And so that's good. I appreciate that. Doesn't mean this is going to indicate future results. I think Ohio State's defense is probably really, really good and probably going to limit Washington a lot more than they've been limited. That's not a crazy thing to say. I'm not crazy about Ohio State on the ground this year thus far, though they've been rotating in some younger guys and getting some good results. They didn't blow Ohio out for the entirety of that game.
Ohio could be full-on good, though.
Ohio could be full-on good.
I was looking at Ohio this week against Bowling Green. I don't know what the point spread's at, but I was thinking of betting that, too, because Ohio's been full-on good. They look like their offense is really, really legit.
Yeah. They beat West Virginia early on?
Yep.
Parker Navarro. So I think Ohio State obviously have the clear strengths of their passing game. Julian Sayin has been very accurate, though he made a couple mistakes against Ohio. I think Ohio State wins this game. I see a lot of people looking at great value for Ohio State, like blowing the doors off of Washington, that Washington's value is a little bit overinflated here. I don't know, man. I think this is a tough emotional spot on the lake. And Ohio State they're working in so much new. I think the big thing, and I saw this, I think it was 11 Warriors. I want to credit where it's due. The fascinating matchup here will be Avril Reese, the linebacker for Ohio State, spying Damon Williams.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
How much of a playmaker can Damon Williams be? And I also worry, in terms of the potential for Washington winning this game, I think there's a pretty steep fall off after their number one receiver. I don't think there is obvious spreading the ball around game-changing ability, and I just think you need to have that to beat a team like Ohio State. So I'm gonna take Washington to cover, Ohio State to win, and I'm gonna say 30-21, 30-18, something. Well, I guess 30-18 would have an Ohio State cover.
Yeah, math major Dan Rubenstein over there.
Yeah, 30-24. Write it down. The math checks out.
I've got 31-24 actually.
Okay.
I think a little bit of a backdoor cover situation here.
Okay.
The thing that you should have mentioned that you didn't is that this is also Julian Sayin's first road start.
Also true.
First road start, and it'll be in Husky Stadium, which is very
rest
hostile
advantage, though, right?
And very loud. There is the rest advantage. They were on bye last week. They've had plenty of opportunity here to get ready for this one. But look, I'm going to harken back to what I said during the previews, and I believe it now more than ever. Washington is the white-knuckle team of the Big Ten. They may not go out there and win 9 games. They may not even get to 7. I don't know. But I think they're going to be a tough out through and through.
I think they're a good team, yeah.
I think they are a good team. And I really like this team a lot when I previewed them earlier in the year. So for me, this is an opportunity to see what they're made of. as Ohio State is for everybody. It's a perfect test to see where you rank relative to the field. 31-24. I think it's mostly Ohio State. I think they mostly keep Washington at arm's length, but I think it's close for a while, and I think there's a backdoor cover.
By the way, Washington's schedule is looking pretty tasty in this moment.
It is.
So after Ohio State, it's at Maryland. We'll see what Maryland is, but they're 4-0 at this moment. It is September, and that is a big key for Maryland. Yeah. They have Rutgers at home, which should be, it's a revenge spot for Washington, and the Rutgers defense has been pretty atrocious this year. An unfinished but 100% good and challenging Michigan on the road is going to be very tough. A more flawed than perhaps America thought Illinois at home. A Wisconsin team who is teetering on the edge. Purdue, very much the start of a work in progress. UCLA is starting over, and they do finish with Oregon, though that game is in Seattle. So it's pretty tasty.